Hey man, how's it going? You kind of are supposed to mention it,
Yeah,
but it's all good. What's
you can
up?
see it.
I can see it. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, because it's kind of small, it's a good idea to mention it.
Okay.
But I mean, you're allowed. Realistically, you're allowed to film stuff in public places. So what's up, man?
Used to involve the Boycott Israel people.
Of course we. I am.
Why'd you get involved with them?
Why'd I get involved in BDS? Well, I strongly support the implementation of international law, especially in relation to the West Bank and Gaza, which are currently subject to, West Bank is subject to an illegal occupation and Gaza is subject to an illegal siege. So basically, yeah, with human rights and international law.
Right. And what do you think the purpose of the war was?
That's a good question. I don't know what the purpose of a wall is. It's not security. That's quite obvious. So yeah, I really can't answer that question, but I can tell you that it's having considerable effects on Palestinian communities, and it's going to cause irreparable damage to the Palestinian state.
You don't think it's to keep out like bombers and stuff?
Well, no. I mean, if you look at research, the wall itself is quite porous. There's nothing really stopping insurgents from moving from one side to the other. As I said, it doesn't appear to be a security issue. So yeah, that's I reject that.
Okay. I read that like the amount of suicide bombings and stuff decreased quite a bit since they put up the wall.
Okay. I mean, I'd question those statistics. As far as I'm aware, there's still considerable deaths and violence occurring. I can't say if it's been exacerbated by the wall or not. I don't have enough background information on that. I'm probably not the right person to ask.
Okay.
But I would reject the notion that it's about establishing security. I mean, given that it's actually going into Palestinian lands, to me that spells aggression. You know, if Australia started building a wall through the middle of Indonesia, that's not defence, and that's exactly what's happening over there.
Okay. And
yeah.
And what about you're not sympathetic to like Hamas at all, or
sympathetic to Hamas?
Yeah.
Well, I'm very sympathetic towards the people of Gaza who are suffering severe human rights violations because of the actions of the IDF.
Right.
Not only during the 2008 siege of Gaza, but it's ongoing what's happening there. But I'm also sympathetic to the Israeli people who have also suffered because of their government's hideous policies.
Right. So you're not sympathetic to like Fatah or Hezbollah or?
Well, I understand that they're a product of the conflicts.
Right.
But I really can't comment much more than that on them. I would not support suicide bombings or any other terrorism by either any Palestinians or any Israelis or anyone else for that matter.
Oh, okay.
But I would support all forms of non-violent protest against the status quo, which is what BDS is.
Right.
It's non-violent opposition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like you don't support like rockets launched by Hezbollah or?
No, of course not. I mean, there we go. I mean, the rockets themselves, I would argue, look like acts of desperation. I mean, very few of them actually hit anything. And when it does, the results are often tragic. You know, I don't think anyone wants to kill children, for example. Although, anyway, so I don't. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That was a really crap ending, by the way.
What do you mean?
That was a crap response on my part.
Right.
But yeah, I would not support rockets. But I understand that after people have been oppressed for this long, people start to crack. And what have mostly been non-violent opposition by Palestinians. I mean, most Palestinians oppose the injustices that are being done to their people in a peaceful manner, but some, as obvious, do not. I think that's inevitable when you have the kinds of policies that Israel has been pursuing.
Right. You would be like perhaps an atheist yourself, would you, or something like that, or secular, or
That's not
agnostic?
really relevant.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But it's just wondering if there's like, you think there might be a, because a lot of them, people in like Palestine, like Muslims and stuff, whether there might be a sort of a certain Muslim agenda, perhaps by imams or in the Quran or something, like they've interpreted the Quran or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I recently had someone argue that the Muslims are trying to take over the world, and I ended up getting into a quite lengthy debate with them, trying to explain that doesn't seem to be what's occurring. I mean, people throw out conspiracy theories all the time. I mean, yeah. Oh no, really? And so yeah, there's this this idea that there's a worldwide Islamic conspiracy to take over the world. I think it's crap personally, and I wouldn't really want to say much more about it. I would mention though that I think around 10% of Christians in Israel and Palestine are of Palestinian ethnicity. So the idea that it's just about, I don't know, the West versus the Muslims is not true at all. Many Palestinians are Christians, and in the end, I think the main concern here is not religion, it's the implementation of international law and maintaining and supporting human rights.
Okay. Have you ever heard of the statement like from the river to the sea?
Yeah, Palestine will be free, yeah.
Okay.
Heard that one, yes.
Yeah, any understanding of that, or?
Yeah, of course I understand that. It's the notion that the entire land of Palestine should be free.
Okay.
Depending on your understanding of what Palestine means.
Right. So, I mean, do you think what sort of percentages of Palestinians sort of believe in that, or?
So, I don't know.
Okay. Right.
I really can't say exactly.
Yeah, okay. And I read somewhere that it's a bit complicated to understand.
They should be, but I'm not entirely sure. We're supposed to have flyers, but something happened with the printer. No, because it's... Sorry, man.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you so much for your questions.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you were raising about occupation and stuff.
Yeah.
I was reading, it's a bit complicated to understand, but there were certain wars, like there was a Six-Day War and some other things, and something about Israel advanced to some like territories like West Bank of Gaza or something, and they're sort of allowed to sort of like occupy it, sort of to keep other like countries from using that territory to get a
No, there have been UN resolutions passed against most of those land grabs. You can Google it. I don't have them on hand, or maybe I don't. But yeah, I mean, currently Israel has been condemned, or its actions have been condemned by more UN resolutions than the rest of the world combined. So when they talk about, say, Iran not adhering to international law, or North Korea not adhering to international law, that's true to an extent, but it's also true to an extent that Israel is also not complying with international law. And you just have to look at the lengthy list of UN resolutions that have been passed against or opposing Israeli aggression.
Do you have any opinions like the UN and stuff, or what sort of? Because it's made up all sorts of regimes. Some are dictatorships and Islamic and communists and stuff. Or
yeah, I mean the UN should be doing more to address this problem. I understand that there's a lot of challenges right now, to put it lightly, but I firmly believe that the UN should be playing a great role in resolving this conflict.
Okay. I read that like sometimes they get distracted with Israel issues when there's some other great issue somewhere like genocide or something at the same time, something.
I can't really comment on that.
Yeah, you don't know much about that sort of thing, I suppose.
Well, there's a lot of conflicts in the world today. Some of them are, in terms of people, some of them are more urgent. So if you look at the Horn of Africa famine that was occurring, still is to an extent. That was urgent. I don't know if addressing the Israeli-Palestine conflict is somehow detrimental to that. I really can't say.
Right. Okay.
But yeah, I mean, definitely the UN's resources are strained.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Oh, thanks so much. I'm going to get back to this again.
Yeah.
from these guys here.
Okay, I've got some things to show you, but
Yeah, I can take them and look later, but I've actually got to...
yeah, I don't know if you just thought you might have an opinion on some of this. Some pictures I found of like in London.
Yeah, the March to Jerusalem. Yeah, it's good stuff. They're nice photographs. I'm sorry, I've got to go. I'm sorry. Thank you so much.
You don't have an opinion on that, or?
What about it? We're all Hamas.
Yeah, the sort of.
Well, I understand that the people in Gaza are suffering considerably. So I suppose it's a solidarity message.
Right. This is I think in London, obviously there's Big Ben in it.
Yeah.
So,
no, it looked like it was excellent, but I haven't really.
That's happened
read
for a couple of years. That's this March.
Yeah. No, well, I mean, we need more international solidarity.
It just seems like a certain amount of boycott people are obviously in support of Hamas.
Of course. People BDS supporting Hamas. Well, it was a democratically elected government. They've done good things.
I know.
They've done a lot of bad things as well. I suppose a lot of people do support the democratically elected Hamas administration.
Right. Yeah, so it's a sort of anyway, but as you know, I suppose Hamas has been behind a lot of bombings and stuff like that, haven't they?
I mean, they're often accused of being responsible.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thanks so much, man.
Right.